Social media has a couple different things with it that I don't know. I think it's positive because it keeps you in contact with people that you maybe normally wouldn't be in contact with, but then it gives you a false sense of security of having contact with them people and thinking that you're better friends with them than you really are. Another thing about social media that's a negative is non-productivity. It's a waste of time. I work for AT&T, and there's certain people that spend more time in social media on their cell phones sitting in their trucks than probably they should, because we're there to service the customer, not to update blogs and Facebook and Instagram, things like that. One of the last things I think that's negative about social media is people use it too much to contact with instead of actually conversating.
I think that there is a lot of positive and negative on today's social media. The positive is a lot of people, depending on different age groups, you can keep up with today's trends. And the positive out of like the big networks like Facebook, you can keep in contact with relatives that maybe you have grown up with and they had to move away, or that you haven't seen since you guys were kids or what have you. Also, some of the negative about today's, you have too many of these youngins getting jealous and not communicating through voice and actually speaking on the telephone. I know the text messaging is just a part of technology, but that still falls into with the social networks, because when people see something that someone else has posted, if you don't hear the tone of voice that someone is saying or see their body motions, which is the way that you use the body language, then you don't know how they mean something. So a lot of things can be misinterpreted, if you will. But for the most part, you just have to put up boundaries and things like that and have some understanding. But I think for the most part, it's more positive than negative, depending on how it's used. It can also be used in a big negative way as far as bullying and threatening and gang stuff. I mean, so it's both. There's a lot of good and it could be a lot of bad. It just depends on how you deal with it and how you handle it. You just have to teach your children the right way to handle today's technology.
I only use like social media for just because when I'm bored, I'm like on social media, and it does hurt though, because like bullying and stuff, like people get called names and stuff, and it really can upset you. But you can also put like funny stuff on there, and you can like laugh with your friends and stuff, like Instagram and Twitter. But you can also do it to like harass people, and that's not good.
I think social media is bad because a lot of people use it to put down people. It's good for things like you could see stuff halfway across the world that you wouldn't be able to see, and you could visit places by looking at them through pictures that you might not ever be able to see in your life. There's the right time and place to use it, and there's not the right time and place to use it, because you go out to eat and you see everybody on their phones and stuff instead of talking to each other and having family time, like having dinner. But then again, that was also the case years ago before social media came out, because newspaper was a form of media.
It's going down for real.
So what do you think about social media, and how do you think it affects us today?
It ruins our lives. Okay, you're not going to put that on your project. I really don't know what to say. That's not going to be on.
It's going to go on the bloopers.
Do I have to have more? Because I don't.